little bit of head movement back and forth as he comes across to this lane.
He's using his directional indicators.
That's where that one had dropped. So we just kind of let him notice it, check it out, and keep working. Sharper head movements, head staying low, but it's darting, tracing, fixating. Yeah. Disappearing. Good note, we have more odor at the back than we've had in any round. Further down the right wall. Slow movements. We're careful for a traffic jam there when he tilts that head up and turns like that.
Pileated woodpecker.
Yeah, tell me about them. We have them in our yard. They destroy things.
Head slightly tilted. Tighter turn. Head's low at that corner again. He's already solved the one at the corner of the wall. He's doing okay. Kept that head low. Tracing. Circled out. Tracing, creasing, tracing. It's also good for their stamina. Still have done 17 finds through 3 rounds. Head bobbing back and forth. Stretching, climbing, tight circle. Stretching, climbing. Darting out. Setting his own boundary. As we watch, you'll notice on the video that where he gazes will end up mostly being the general direction he thinks it's located in. So when he does those kind of head tilted actual gazing, which you can see better from our vantage point, he's not gazing out that way. He's not gazing at us. He will tend to gaze very specifically where he thinks it's coming from. Closing his mouth as he brings his head down and bobs it up. That mouth closing is usually associated with effort to source. And he's starting to, and he's starting to gaze right where it's located. It's frustrating because he has to prairie dog if he wants to do a typical chance style source.
Right, which is to get his face on it.
Physical, to be really physical with it. And he can't quite prairie dog long enough to do that. So he wants his paws involved. So when you watch the fixation, And you watch where his gaze goes when he's not stretching, striving, or climbing, but you watch his gaze at those moments when he's down using just his head and nose.
It's clearly underneath in an area that he can't get his face on.
Bingo.
Bingo.
Yeah. And he's been gazing at mostly a spot midway between the outer edge by us and the corner that he can climb on, and that's about where it is. It's about right there. Yep. And if you watch a video very early on, that's where his gaze goes, where he stretches, climbs, strives, gets down on fours, and he gazes right in that direction.
Is that all of them, or is he missing a couple?
He's missing 2, I think.
Okay.
Or sorry, I think he's missing 3. Yeah. Slow pacing here. Head's kind of slightly tilted up.
That's the one that he was obsessed about, I think, for a long time.
You got it. You got it. That's exactly how you look at it. Is even though he was moving through space, his mind was on that.
That's the one he wanted, and he wanted it really, really bad.
Just kind of casting left to right, and through left to right. Sped up. He must have stopped because Ellen stopped. And she's remained stopped, so he must be in a same area. Yep. Found something. Good practice sometimes just to watch the handler.
Mm-hmm. And she will ultimately, I think, be back.
I think so. I mean, he has had more behavior in here. Where when he had 3 in a cluster in that second round, he had a lot of head tilted up and a lot of tight circles. And he's got purpose now, so he's moving with purpose. Head's low, but it's dancing. Tracing. Yeah.
You know, that silly tongue.
Remaining.
That silly tongue is an indicator with him.
Yes, it is. Head slightly tilted, tight turn.
It doesn't come all the way out, it just a little bit pokes out.
So kind of watch him do these circles, or the stretching, striving, climbing. That, again, is rarely related to the act of sourcing, as they become a little more careful and collected with their sourcing behavior. But he's now turned to that climbing for this last find. All of a sudden, he didn't do all that climbing earlier as he passed through there. Yeah.
And he's working.
He is. All that climbing is in an effort here, and there's some tracing that comes along with it. When that head traces the surface or an edge. And stretching and striving. That's all part of it. Tighter turn in there. More of a tight nose and fixation. Yes.
Teeth.
Good job. Well done.
Good boy.
Nice job.
Good boy. Well done.